morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're watching. How are we today, fellas?
I'm not bad for once. Yeah.
Sun is shining in Ireland. What about you, Joe?
Yeah, it sure is. Yeah.
The sun shone for one day. It was quite sunny yesterday, but it doesn't look like it's too sunny today. So we've had another one-day summer. We had one day a couple of weeks ago and one day yesterday. So, yeah,
it's in the 70s already over here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Very unusual. We've had about 6 straight days of it.
You'll have to translate that. What's the 70s?
Oh,
Celsius.
20.
20?
Yeah,
nice.
I think.
That's warmer than us. I think we're about 18 at the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping the sun's going to come out later because I've got an awful lot of meat to cook on the barbecue. So
we have highs of 17 today, so no point even entering the
barbecues are going
to. Everyone will have their shorts on anyway, so you know.
Yeah, I've got mine on.
Yeah, same here. So everybody, welcome to RickyVillaTV, the UEFA Cup final qualifying Sunday session. Please like and subscribe to Spurswation TV, Shelfside Spurs, and of course RickyVillaTV. All of your support is much appreciated. Apologies about last week. Something came up known as Mother's Day,
that went well.
I couldn't come on. Yeah. So, but what I was due to do last week, I'm going to do today. So the on this day last week in Spurs history, Spurs won, Huddersfield won in the first leg of the 1974 Youth Cup final.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I thought this was an interesting one. I saw there's an interview. If you can see the hang on a minute, the link underneath, I would recommend reading it. It was an interview from, I think, Roger Gibbons. Now, looking at this team, there's only really 2 of them that I recognise, and that's Neil McNabb and Chris Jones. So I wanted to get a little bit of insight from you, Kev, to see if A, you remember this, and 2, the players who were playing.
Well, Chris Jones, I know, obviously. Yeah, I can remember seeing him in the kit many a time because he was, I believe he was the last one that Billy Nick signed.
Mm-hmm.
Some say that. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure. Brotherston, yeah, he played for the team.
Okay.
I think he ended up being a very bald kind of guy. He was a journeyman footballer, but I think he died early, died young.
Yeah.
Andy Keeler, I remember the name. Mickey Stead, that rings a bell. But
really? Okay.
The rest, no, not really.
No? Okay.
No.
John, I know it was probably 2 or 3 years before you were born. It was 2 years before I was born. Any names pop out? Are you there?
I can't see that. I've got it on my iPhone, so I can't even see.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So it was Ian Cranston in goal,
yeah.
Ian Smith, Mickey Stead, Andy Keeley, and Wayne Kajelski. Kajelski, sorry.
Yeah.
Polish names are always a bit of a problem for me.
It's a Welsh name, isn't it?
Is it? Okay. I thought it was Polish. Okay.
What do you think?
It was just the ski bit on the end that caught.
Yeah, I went to school with a couple of lads that were like British, but they had them names, as well, like,
Yeah. I think a lot of Polish people settled in England after the Second World War, didn't they? I know we had a neighbour who we used to help back from the White Lion pub across the road.
There was like that your way.
That's Stuart Viacek's dad, was it?
Sorry?
That's Stuart Viacek's dad.
No, I don't think it was. No.
A lot of them stayed out in Norfolk and all that way out there on the A40 out the way because they were based at the station there. You see?
Okay.
The RAF place. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That's why there's a lot. That's where the Polish War Memorial was out that way as well, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. When I used to go to work in London, that was along the A40. We'd always see that. It's next to RAF Norfolk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the Polish club down the road.
Yes.
Polish servicemen's club down the road.
Yeah.
Got a big Polish community in Amersham and Chester.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember old Alfie. He was a veteran of the what was it, Monte Cassino, where the Polish division there got basically wiped out. But yes, after he'd had a few drinks, some of the stories that he used to tell Gordon Bennett wasn't very pleasant. But it was a nice old chat. We, because my mum, we were talking about this earlier. My mum worked for the dog rescue. We managed to get him I think it was a little staffy called Sam, and he was the best trained dog I have ever had the fortune to meet. He would stand on the White Line Road, which was pretty busy even back in those days, and he'd just sit, and then there'd be a gap, and he'd look at you, and you go, "Go on, Sam," and he'd run across the road to the pub, obviously have a sniff, piss up against the wall like his owner used to do. And that was it was a lovely dog. But anyway, I digress. Gary Anderson in the midfield, Brotherson and McNabb, and then Chris Jones, Roger Gibbons, and John Margerson up front.
Only really McNabb I've heard of, to be honest.
Yeah, I know Chris Jones. I remember he had a lovely 70s haircut. And he played up front, didn't he? He was
Yes, he was played up front. Yeah, he was. I think he was from Guernsey or something like that. Or Guernsey, one of them like Chivers, like one of the Channel Islands. I think I can't be 100%, but it's one of them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So so I thought that was an interesting one. 3 days later, I think it was Gibbons or Margerson who scored the winner, and we won up in Yorkshire. But I think that was the first. What was it? I think that was the first time we'd won it, the youth final, and it's a bit of a shame that not that many players came through. But I suppose, what do you expect? 2 or 3, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah,
players to come through at
half, of course. That's your name's Man United. Yeah,
you had Perryman, Hoddle, and Hazard had come through. Obviously,
yes, yeah.
The generation before that. So maybe we took our off the ball a bit with youth players.
Yeah, I think we did until, what's his name, Santini and Yole and Arneson came in, and then it was just like, buy anyone who looks half decent. Remember Spassi Divleski?
Yeah.
Another Australian legend at the club. Oh, sorry.
God.
Apologies for that, yeah. Anyway, I'd like to, something just popped into my head earlier, and I was thinking about Eric Torsbeck for some reason. So, who was your favourite goalkeeper who's ever played for the club? Preferably haven't seen them live. So that counts out like, what's his name? Pat Jennings for me. I didn't see, I think I saw Ray Clements once. But Kev, I'd like you to start, seeing as you've had
Jennings, without doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he joined the club in '64. I see him a couple of years later. He's still only a boy, 1920, but you knew he was just top class.
Yeah. All
the way through. Even when he left, he broke their hearts, because it was one of them things, He wanted a bit more money, but the one-handed saves, the penalty saves, the one-handed saves was brilliant. When you go like and just catch the ball, like that. He's taking the piss, really, showboating, But he gave everything on the pitch every time,
I can remember everyone saying that, he had the biggest hands in football. And I had the fortune to meet him after an Arsenal game one day. And I'm actually taller than him. He's about 6 foot, maybe 6'1". But those hands, Jesus Christ.
I don't know if you heard the story I told before, because where I lived, it was in rural Hertford, like in between villages, like on the edge of town.
Yeah.
And he played at the Bricklington Golf Club, which he came from Broxbourne, which is the southern side of the golf club. Mm-hmm. And you go through these really tight lanes. They're literally one car as you go around some of them. Like you have to go really slowly around the bends. And I see the front wheel of a bike coming round. Next thing I see the handlebars coming around, and I see a pair of hands on the handlebar. I thought, fuck me, the size of their hands, that can only be one person. And he fucking was. I couldn't believe it. He was off to the golf club because he plays out at the Bricklington Golf Club. But his hands were like taking up all the handlebars. It was all in slow motion, surreal,
Their motorbike, push bike.
Push bike, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's got to be 25 years ago now.
Yeah,
bloody hell.
He's still fitness. prick. Then well, he played golf. He plays golf nearly every day up there. If you ain't involved in anything else.
Is he still there? Is he still in England, or has he moved back?
Yeah. He's still in the club. He's still with the club.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. He's in and around the club. He's one of the patrons. He's like Mabbott and all them. They roll them out all the time. Does all the tours and everything.
Okay. Yeah.
Still goalkeeping coach until very recently, wasn't he?
Quite possibly, yeah, because he doesn't live too far away from the new place, So.
Yeah. Because I can remember it was my mate Jason. He organised us corporate tickets, so we went and we had lunch at White Hart Lane beforehand and met a load of the legends. And then it was the North London derby. It was Arsenal away, so they got us on a coach and drove us through Bandit Country. And there's all these little kids on the coach giving it the wanker sides to the Arsenal fans, and I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, what are you doing? And we got there, and obviously we lost 1-0. Actually, I was at that point, I was quite impressed with the stadium. The away end was the concourse was nice and spacious. There were a lot of bars. This is when the Emirates was, I think, only about 5 years old. And so the amenities were like, bloody hell, compared to the Park Lane, this is fucking amazing. But anyway, we got outside and we were all waiting on the coach. And of course, because Pat used to play for Arsenal, he's in the boardroom having a drink with the fucking directors and stuff like that. Yeah. Half an hour later, he ambles down and the coach is like, fuck's sake, Pat. And he's like, oh, sorry, lads. Everyone's like, oh, we forgive you.
Literally, no one could have a go him, could they?
Exactly. He was a really, really nice bloke. And yeah, I was grinning like a Cheshire cat. I looked like a fucking 5-year-old when I had that picture taken with him.
Yeah, he's a gentleman as well,
Yeah. Okay then, John. This is going to be a good one.
No, there's a lot of emotional attachment to most of the players, isn't there? Because it's like my first goalkeeper was Ray Clements, and then shortly after that was Big Eric, like you say, Eric Torsford, and he seemed to be with us throughout most of my childhood. So I've got quite an emotional attachment to Big Eric. I remember that first game. Was it Notts Forest or was it Arsenal? Let it for his out. Yeah. Yeah. And then we thought, here we go. We just got rid of Bobby Mims, and we got another one.
Bobby Mims.
And then, but I've got fond memories of Neil Sullivan. I used to like Neil Sullivan. Okay. Casey Keller. I used to like Casey Keller. Brad Friedel was good for us, wasn't he? But obviously Robbo and Hugo are probably the two that I've probably got most emotional attachment to, because they were the goalies when I first started going every week at my season tickets. Yeah. So it was Robbo towards the tail end of that, and then Hugo. There's also a few keepers between Robinson and Hugo, but I used to have an attachment to Hugo because he was sort of in the south stand there. He used to give us a little wave before all the games and clapped us after the games and stuff. So yeah, got a bit of an emotional attachment to those two. I'd say Robbo or Hugo, but as I say, Clements was my first keeper, and then Big Eric for most of my childhood, wasn't it? Big Eric Torsford. So.
Yeah. You've missed one.
Go on.
What's his bloody name?
Oh, I didn't miss him. I didn't like him because he pissed me off, Kev, when he cost us that European, Champions League run when he let it through his hands. With 3-1 down, I think that year under Redknapp we could have probably gone away and given anyone a proper game, couldn't we? To go away 3-1 down it was tough arse, but he just fucked us with that 4-1 that he let through his hands right at the end. There it was Ronaldo, wasn't it? Shot from about 40 yards. And,
I can't remember he done it. Yeah.
He let it through it, and that 4-1 just killed us. I remember how flat it was in the stadium, because even at 3-1 it was a bit like, I don't know if we can get away with it. Still got shot. That just killed us, didn't it? I've got good memories of him when he did that double save against Arsenal when we beat them. The old Van Persie, the tip over.
Yeah.
A free kick and that volley thing that he tipped over.
You weren't going to mention him, no. Fuck it.
No.
But that week was something special, beating Chelsea and Arsenal. And yeah, me getting hit by a coin thrown both matches thrown by the Chelsea and the Arsenal fans, and I think Arsenal was a 2p and the Chelsea fans was a 2-quid coin. So
a wig.
Abramovich money. See,
exactly. I was like, the 2p. I was like, no, you keep that. But the £2 coin, I was like, yeah, don't mind if I do. I just need another 50p, and I could get a can of Red Stripe at the better there. But loving the chat, guys. Houdini, bloody hell! Hello, John. How are you, mate?
Hello, John.
Nice
Now you know what I look like.
I'm sure he does. Aren't you friends with him on Facebook? No,
he won't have me. He won't have me.
Well, by the way, John, just in case you don't know who this is Kev, otherwise known as the Chosen One.
Oh, he knows me as Kev, all right. Yeah, he does, yeah.
Spurs community legend.
Otherwise known as Queven to us.
Queven, yeah.
Queven, yeah.
Queven.
Yeah.
Queven, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you've mentioned him already, John, but I think mine is Paul Robinson. Because some of the saves that he pulled off, I know he was a bit dodgy from long shots. I'm still wondering if he's got if his eyesight isn't as good as it should be. But he was just the way that he got us, and we basically worshipped him. I mean, he was England's number one. England's number one. Every game we went to, he was just. I thought he was brilliant. Obviously, you got to say Hugo as well, because he did go through a few dodgy patches, and he always seemed to come back stronger. The penalty saves that he made against the Gooners a couple of times, I seem to remember, were brilliant. I mean, I also remember that game against Brighton where, what was his name? Connolly, who's now was playing in the non-league in Ireland, scored 2 goals against him, and he dropped it.
Yeah.
Ball massively.
Well, he was out ages for injury after that when he landed funny on his shoulder, his elbow, and he was out for months, about 6 months, wasn't he, after that?
Yeah. Yeah, and who did we have then? Was that Galini? God, he was awful.
I don't know. Probably would have been, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, moving on from that, seeing as we're on a subject of goalkeepers, who's the worst goalkeeper you've ever seen in our colours?
Oh, dear. But see, Barry Daines wasn't a bad goalkeeper. He was the understudy to Jennings. Barry Daines. He wasn't that bad, but because he really got a look in, every time he come on, he was under the microscope, and anything he did was amplified, so he had a bad deal, it was a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
But then you had...
what about Alexis?
Mark Kendall you had as well. He let, but they used to throw him Mars bars on the pitch because he was a bit chunky, like, you know what I mean? And he's one of them, like, and he used to laugh and joke about it, but people would mint it.
Yeah.
But, then there was Alexis came along.
Was he
He played in the 81 final, and to me, when he got Clements for the next final, I thought, what's all that about? There's something strange there, like, to change the goal. He was doing a good job as far as I was concerned.
Okay.
Not a bad job, but it was an upgrade, obviously, with his experience. But I thought age wasn't quite right. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, who are you going for then, Kev?
Oh, the worst goalkeeper, Kendall. Mark Kendall, poor R.I.P. I should say, because he's no longer with us. He became a copper and he got a medal for valour of some sort, and he died young. Another one.
Well, if he was a serving copper in Tottenham, I think they should.
No, he's in Wales.
Oh right, I was going to say still getting being a copper in Tottenham. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's an article on Planet Football, the 17 worst goalkeepers in Tottenham history. Should we go through them?
Yeah, go on.
Remind ourselves some of the names. Ben Ornwick's number 17. Long time backup Ornwick had to wait more than 2 years for his league debut after featuring on the bench numerous occasions, and marked the occasion by conceding 4 goals on his debut to an already relegated Burnley. Not a great start. I remember that as well. Everyone was pushing for him to get a game when the poor lads on the bench all the time, and he scored in against Burnley. 16, Kevin Dearden. Only played 45 minutes in the Premier League for Spurs, but at least got a clean sheet. He later agreed to speak to us about it, which was nice. Forged a solid career at Brentford after leaving White Hart Lane.
Yeah, he was a bit chunky as well, I seem to remember. I remember seeing pictures of him in the programmes and stuff like that. He was a big lad.
Here's a good one for you. Hans Seegers, 15.
Yeah.
Signed the goalkeeper after breach of betting regulations is one thing. Actually playing him at the age of 36 is another altogether. Played 90 minutes for Spurs in a league game at Southampton, which ended 1-1. Radic Cherny. Then we got Radic Cherny. Was part of the old Croatian crew, wasn't he? That came in.
Yeah.
Was he Croatian? I thought he was Czech.
Was he Czech? Was he?
Yeah, I think he was
Doesn't say it. Espen Bardsden. You remember him?
Yes.
Oh,
I thought he was quite good though.
Was he Norwegian? He played 23.
He was Norwegian, yeah, and he went on to become some high flyer in the city.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, this could be my vote, actually. The next number for the worst goalkeeper we've ever had. He was fucking awful. Although you met him the other day, there's a clue for you. Michel Vorm. Wasn't it Michel Vorm you met the other day?
I thought he was quite good.
If he's watching
Yeah,
the
it was,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get very quiet about that one, John.
Gazaniga. Oh, I forgot about him. Paolo Gazaniga.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
up
yeah,
and down,
he's
wasn't
going to
he?
be the biggest thing, don't we?
Yeah, some suggested the Argentinian could be Lloris's successor at one, but he fell down the pecking order after the dismissal of Mauricio Pochettino. Carlo Cudicini, he was good. I like Carlo. He was good.
Yeah.
He
Chelsea?
breaking both his wrists, didn't he, in a motorcycle accident?
Yes, yeah, remember that.
Or was that when he was with us, actually? I don't know if it was with us or with Chelsea.
I think he was with us at the time.
This could be up there for the vote as well. Fraser Forster. He's done all right on occasion, but before this season, he can't dive low, can he, anymore?
No.
Can't get down. Same as
I don't
me.
think he ever could he? I mean, Jesus Christ, he's what, 6'6" or something, isn't he? He should be playing basketball.
And the rest. Neil Sullivan. I used to like Sullivan. Good goalie.
Yeah, he was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the. I saw a clip of him earlier because they were talking about that David Beckham goal. He only scored from the halfway line. That was That was Neil Sullivan in goal. It was an interview with Brian McClaren. He said his first two thoughts were, "You're not going to shoot from there, you daft bastard." And then as it was going in, he remembers thinking, "Oh no, it's a Scottish goalkeeper. He's never got the end of this." Boy, he ain't even gone in. So,
you're not going to shoot from there, you daft bastard.
The Scottish goalkeeper. He's going to get killed. Ian Walker, number 7. The old Statons spent more time doing that than me.
Always laughed when he let a goal in. I hate you.
Yeah, it's not my fault, Governor, and it's not my fault.
Yeah.
He stood there with his hands on his hips, laughing.
Yeah, didn't like him.
The kids used to take the piss out of him in Cheshunt High Street because he used to walk around with a Game Boy, I think it was, in them days. And my boy was about 10 years old or something like that, 10 or 11 years old, and all the kids used to walk around taking the piss out of him. In Cheshunt.
Casey Keller's number 6, the first of our Boldies. The second of 3 American-born keepers on the list. Can you name the other 2?
Brad Friedel.
Yeah. Oh, we've already mentioned the other one. It's a tenuous link at best.
Oh, we've already mentioned the other one. Casey Keller.
Casey Keller.
No.
Brad
Harry
Friedel.
Bardsden was born in the US.
Oh, was he? I thought he was Norwegian.
I didn't know that.
Born in
Norway.
He played for Norway, but he was born in the US.
Okay.
Eric Torsvett's number 5. I think he's counting down to good keepers by this stage. Yeah. How long was he in? It doesn't say. His son Christian is now also a footballer, playing his trade in Serie A.
Yes.
Yeah.
Midfielder.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Brad Friedel, our second goalie. Oh, guess how many games? Yeah, I guess how many games Friedel played for us. This is surprising.
100?
No.
50?
50, yeah. 50 games. He only 50 games.
Wow.
And most of the 2011-12 season as well. So the other seasons didn't get much of a look in.
I met him in Tesco's on Eastcheap, just down the road from where I used to work in the city.
Yeah.
And don't worry, I wasn't a broker or anything, lads. It's not enough uppy for that. But I walked up and I was like, "You're right, Brad." And he really looked at me like he was going to headbutt me.
That's
he
American.
looked happy. Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, you're playing really well this season, mate. Come on, you Spurs." He was like, "Oh." I was like, he said, did you want an autograph or something? And I went through my pockets and had this little scrap of paper. And he wrote, I don't know where it is now, unfortunately. But he was a nice enough bloke once he realised that I wasn't going to have a pop at him because I was a West Ham fan. So,
yeah. I always remember with him, he was unlucky to get dropped because we bought Lloris, didn't we? Like a last January transfer deadline dance. And Friedel was playing really well at the time. And he just kept 2 clean sheets in a row, hadn't he? And I remember
just after the World Cup, wasn't it? Yeah.
I remember us all saying, well, surely you can't drop him after 2 clean sheets. And then he put Lloris straight in, didn't he? And the rest is history.
Well, I thought that Lloris spent a few games on the bench, didn't he?
He did, yeah. But he pretty much came straight in. It didn't take him long, did it, to get in at all?
Yeah. Yeah, but Brad, I can remember, where was it? Leon when Musa scored that goal to take us through in the Rugby League. Me and Jason were there, and I think the Leon fans have been giving him loads of stick, and he turned around and he went like this to them. It was fucking hilarious. So,
you ready for your top three? It's controversial. 3 is Robbo.
okay.
Were you there when he scored against Watford?
No, I wasn't. No, I missed that. I saw that on the telly.
We went up with Devil and Dorsey. They're Watford fans, weren't they? We got
yeah.
Devil had a bit of money back then, so we paid for this limo to get up there and stuff. And after in the ground, it was around the time where who was in goal for them? It was the guy that does the podcast, wasn't it?
Foster, wasn't it?
Foster, yeah. So they were giving it all large about him being England's number one, wasn't it, when Robinson wasn't number one. And then he scored that goal, didn't him? And then for the rest of the afternoon, we were just going to Devil. And he goes, if you do that one more time, I'm going to pour this pint over your head. So I went right to his face and went, he put his beer all over my head. I was like laughing away.
How is he? Is he still around? Is he still in Hampshire?
On and off. He's got I'll better not say where his properties are because he's very private man.
Okay,
he's got 2 properties. So he spends half his time here and then half his time at his other one. Yeah,
he did quite well. Wasn't his dad quite well off or quite high up or something?
His dad was Queen's accountant. Queen the dad. So, and Paul Rogers, the guy that took over from Freddie Mercury, I think he was in a band called Free. They did All Right Now. That was
Bad Company.
Right, yeah, okay. Yeah.
He was there, man. And Chris Rea as well, I think. So he's the handle all the financials for those guys. That's what. And Paul worked for his dad as well.
Okay.
So we used to get to Queen gigs, which was wasted on me because I don't really like Queen.
Well, yeah, I don't think me and him were great mates, but if you do see him, send him my regards.
I haven't seen him for years since before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Number 2, Aurelio Gomez, Kev.
Oh.
Conversely, Gomez's errors were very high profile, but his all-round game was more impressive than the man who preceded him as first choice. The Brazilian played a huge role in the 2009 season, blah, 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 blah. Before his erratic performances saw him farmed off to Watford. Very true. And number 1 in our top-ranked goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Yeah. No one comes close to the Spurs captain. Lloris played more than 300 games for Tottenham since joining in 2012, barely missing a game. He was a huge factor in the team establishing itself among the Premier League's elite during Pochettino's time in charge. There you go.
Well, to be honest, yeah, this is why the guy who's my worst one is not even on that fucking list. And that's Bobby Mims.
Booby Mims, yeah.
He came in.
I remember that headline in the papers, Booby Mims.
He came in with a big reputation from Blackburn, wasn't it?
Is it Blackburn or Everton? I can't remember. I don't know.
Blackburn.
I think he played for Everton in the end of it. I'm not sure.
Oh, Everton. Yeah, you might be right. I think it was Everton's backup keeper when he to Neville Southall.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he went to Blackburn, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, he came to us in 1988.
Yeah.
And so maybe he didn't come with a big reputation. Maybe that was just my 12-year-old brain thinking, oh, we got a new goalkeeper. He's going to be brilliant. But fucking hell, it was awful.
Have you seen these things where people do the swipes, like who the best goalkeepers are, and and they brings up another one, that's to swipe who the best is. There was one the other day, and it was obviously some kid interviewing him was like Premier League era only, and Neville Southall came up, and the bloke was like, Neville Southall, coming up against his keepers, Neville Southall, and he was saying he's the best one. This kid was like, who's Neville Southall? And I was like, he was a fucking good goalkeeper. He was a good kid.
You're not wrong. Again, another guy who was a bit chunky. But
he's more than a bit chunky now.
But Gordon Bennett, he could fucking fly through the air, that guy.
Right, he's flying saves, He was mad as well when he thrown himself at people's feet.
Yeah. Well, they say most goalkeepers are mad anyway, don't they?
Yeah. Well, he's also Welsh, isn't he? So he's going to be doubly mad. So sorry. Yeah. Sorry, any Welsh listeners. Apologies.
Former bin man as well, wasn't he, famously?
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, he was there before. He was on the bins before he got picked up with non-league.
All right.
Bloody hell. So hang on a minute. Am I reading this right? Yeah. No, sorry. I was just reading it as Blackburn manager's Don Mackay. Oh, no, it was Dave Mackay, wasn't it? Sorry. I'm saying, anyway, moving swiftly on for my
Goalkeeping.
brain.
Starts in there.
Do we want to do a preview for the game first? Because I don't want to talk about the Friday game. I can't be asked.
No, I was going to hoping you say that.
I've got a little bonus tidbit for you from the book as well, Jens.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Today. It's quite a good one. As we say that every week, that should be the slogan for it, shouldn't it? It's quite a good one. Saturday, 18th of May, 1991. Terry Venables Spurs beat Brian Clough's Nottingham Forest at Wembley in a thrilling FA Cup final. That also sees a wound-up Paul Gascoigne stretch it off after lunging into 2 challenges. To make things worse, the subsequent free kick was dispatched by Stuart Pearce to give Forest the lead, but the match was far from over. Spurs rallied with Gary Lineker having a goal disallowed, which wasn't offside, as we all know, before Paul Stewart scores a legitimate goal that forces extra time. On this occasion, an own goal would work in Spurs' favour as Des Walker diverts the ball to his own net to give Tottenham the trophy.
I'd like to say thank you very much to Des Walker for that. He is. I have actually met him. He's a nice guy. I didn't mention that obviously because I was on his.
No.
I mean, he was surrounded by some rather large people who I didn't really want to upset. So,
the initial elation was because I thought Mabbott had scored at the back post, and it was such a nice arc, after the own goal, and now you set and to head the winner. So I was celebrating like Mabbott had got it in that first, and it was only like the close-ups that showed that Des I think Mabbott probably would have got it, wouldn't he? But Des Walker stuck out a foot to stop him getting it and put it in his own net, or his header, wasn't it? A little header into his net.
Brutal. I think he was a Spurs fan growing up, they say.
Oh no.
Well,
it was Des Walker, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be good for me. I bet he dreamt of scoring the winner in an FA Cup final for Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello, Kavinsky. Nice to see you, mate. Hula stretch it off for cough. Who? I have no clue what you're chatting about, mate. I'm sure you will explain that. Do you want to have a chat about the? Well, no, I've done a pretty pathetic slide about our loan or our players out on loan. So, and I've given them a score, and maybe we could have a quick chat about that.
Some of them aren't finished yet. Donnelly and
No, I know. Yeah,
and the keeper are in the final, aren't they? Final.
Oh no, Notts County went out yesterday, didn't they? So yeah.
Oh yeah.
George Abbott. So
Wickham blew it. They top 2 all season, had a bit of a wobble at the end, dropped out into the playoffs, and then just couldn't get the momentum back, as often happens.
Did you see Nathan Jones as well? God, talk about making it all about yourself. That is unbelievable. But so I'm going to start off with Donnelly and Keeley. Donnelly's played 51 games. Now, don't take this for gospel because I got it off my football app. 8 goals and 11 assists. Loan rating, I give him 8 out of 10. He probably should have had a 9 or a 10, but he didn't start off particularly well.
Yeah, it's good character building for him though, because he struggled. He really struggled, and they wanted to send him back at one stage. I remember telling you about my Leighton Orient mate. They said he's rubbish. You can have him back, and I know Spurs were looking at ways to bring him back, but he battled through it, got his head down, and now they all love him. So if nothing else, that year has been really character building for him, hasn't it? Yeah,
that's true. I'm sorry about all the questions, mate. I'll keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, the loan deal for the character building alone has been worth it, I guess.
Yes, definitely. Same with Josh Keeley, but I think it surprised me that he played less games. Did he join later on? Or
No.
Because he's pretty much been their number one goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And pretty impressive that he's got a goal and an assist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember him, but because I don't watch a lot of Leighton Orient football because it's never on, So I haven't got a subscription for him. I didn't know he was Irish until last week.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure we picked him up from an Irish club.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, he played for St Pat's, who what Melia plays for, but he's played for quite a few sides over there. Yeah.
Did he get called up for the seniors under 20?
Yes, he did. Yeah, this week. Yeah. For the main team, like the first team, Irish team. Yeah.
Oh, nice. So I'm giving him a loan rating out of 10 and 8 because I can remember at the start Donnelly, a lot of the Orient fans were saying, God, this bloke's, he's just another showboat, fly-by-night, typical arrogant Spurs. But from the start, Keeley was rated by them. They were all saying, I just like yourself, Kev, I've got a bit of a soft spot for him because we used to play friendlies there, and I used to live just down the road from the ground as well for a few months. Never again. Fucking hell, what a dump.
Yeah.
But
It was good when I lived there around that way, So.
Was it? Yeah. No, it was. I can remember getting a taxi back from work because the trains were off, and I was in the late shift, and he dropped me there about 12:30. And I said, "Oh, just drop me here, mate. I'll walk the 200 odd meters." And he said, "Are you sure? This is a bad area." I said, "Yeah, I live here, mate, so I kind of know, so I wouldn't worry about it." But so I think it's been. I'd like to see that link continued, even though Richie Wellens is a bit of a mouthy twat. But because it's
he must have drank about 6 bottles of water the other night in that game. I think he's non-stop.
You sure it was water? He's from Manchester. It's probably vodka.
Gin or vodka, yeah, or a mix thereof. Yeah.
He kept 7 clean sheets in a row, didn't he? At one stage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's just when we spent loads of money on Kinski as well. So I was thinking, do we really need him? We got Keeley sort of pulling up trees at Leighton on his loan.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That is an interesting one, but I think it was a panic buy, wasn't it? Because Vicario was out, and Keeley can't be recalled because it's a season-long loan.
True.
So I think that was probably the reason. Celery agent, nice to see you, mate. How you doing? Kavinsky, yeah, my brain hurts already. I'm not surprised. He played for Dumbledore FC. Okay, aren't they in Kazakhstan or somewhere like that? No, Austria. Pretty sure it's Dumbledore or something like that. But anyway, George Abbott, someone who I think has flown a little bit under the radar, maybe because Notts County are in League Two, aren't they? But he's again, their fans have been absolutely raging about him, saying that he's brilliant, and I think that he could definitely do with a League One or a Championship loan next season. Not sure that he's going to make it with us, but we might get a little bit of money out of him. Yeah. He played 44 games, 6 goals. He's kind of a defensive midfielder. That's not bad. 7 assists, so maybe they've been playing him a little bit forward. And I'll give him a loan rating 8 out of 10. If anyone's got any other comments about the rating, then please let me know. Brian Hill, Girona. He's out with a injury until, was it October? November?
He's already done an interview the other day saying he'll be doing his rehab at Tottenham and he'll hit the ground running at Tottenham, so he's got no intentions of staying out there. He's coming back again.
No, I wouldn't blame him either.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to... I'm not sure he's going to make it with us. He reminds me a little bit of Jose Dominguez, who I, with all my heart, wanted him to succeed, but he just didn't really have the strength. Even though Jose Dominguez, for a guy that size, was built like a fucking shithouse, wasn't he? He had like muscles upon muscles, but he still wasn't really strong enough and good enough for the. Well, it wasn't even. Didn't he win
a Euros with Portugal? I think. Is that right?
No, that was Postiga.
That's Postiga, all right, sorry. Yeah. What's his name? Hilda. Yeah.
Hilda.
Sorry, I got confused from you. Yeah.
One of Paratici's rare failures, isn't it, really, Brian Hill?
Yeah. What a turnip. Is there a minus allowed on the scale? Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he really had much of a chance, but he's played 32, 4 goals, 3 assists. So maybe that score of 5 is a little bit harsh because he hasn't really, because he got injured. But Velez, who was this guy who a lot of people were rating, he's gone to Espanyol, only 27 games, 4 goals, no assists. So again, that's a loan rating of 5.
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Not a great return for a striker.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think I'm not sure how many of those 27 games were off the bench, but I don't think he's been playing as their number one. I think he's definitely been backup.
That was a no-brainer for us. I mean, he had an injury, didn't he? So similar to Man Solomon, just chuck them out on loan for the year to see if they can build up their fitness, if they're going to keep breaking down again, or if their injury is going to hold up to regular football. So it's a no-brainer to send them out there, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, definitely, and especially, I mean, it's La Liga, so it's good.
Good experience.
Good experience for him to.
Plus Spanish speaking as well. It obviously struggled with language, didn't he, over here when he first came? All the Argentinians seem to be leaving, didn't they, one by one? So
yeah.
And it's good for him.
That's a good standard for Tel, but not for Vélez. Yeah, well, Tel is dividing a lot of the fan base at the moment, I'd say, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. Yang Min Hyuk. Oh, wow. Audio Artisan, that's an interesting. Vélez got 1 goal in the Liga and 3 against the semi-pro team in the Cups.
Oh, right.
So that's not. Thanks for that, Audio. That's an interesting stat, mate. I didn't.
I wonder if he did a celebration like that, though, like that. What's his name? The guy that scored 3 or 4 goals against. Was it Wickham? He got the 4 goals against the old backup striker Vinicius that we had.
Oh yes, yeah.
He was at Fulham, isn't he now?
Yes, yeah. Not starting a lot, I don't think. They've got that. Is it Munoz up front or Murillo or something? He looks pretty good. But Tel scores 4 goals and Levy pays 50 million for him, but Vélez is shit. Well, I hope he doesn't play 50 million for him, to be honest, because I don't think I haven't. Has anyone seen anything from Tel that would make you want to sign him for 50 million? He really looked like he was trying to fight his way into the final team on Friday, but didn't.
He can take a penalty, I noticed.
Yeah.
I like his character. I mean, he's getting better and better. He's getting more up to the speed of the Premier League, isn't he? As I always say, famously, Vidic and Evra, they were shit for their first 6 months until they clicked with the pace of the Premier League, and you can see signs of Tel getting sharper and quicker. So he's progressing nicely. And he's got good character. He always comes out and fronts the fans when all of our other players
that's true.
And fuck off, don't they? And he's been putting it in every game, hasn't he? So you can't fault the guy. He's got a good mentality and a good attitude.
I think Daniel 90 disagrees with you. Says Tel is rubbish. It's I wouldn't pay for a taxi for Tel unless it was taken to the end. Never change, Kavinsky. Never change.
I think that's the idea of these loan deals, isn't it? All the fees are agreed beforehand. So if he has a good season, they can't up the price, and if he has a bad season, they can't lower the price. So I think usually the prices are all agreed, and it's black and white, isn't it? So it's whether Spurs feel that the price point's worth pushing ahead with it or not.
Yeah. Well. Yang Min Hyuk, who went to QPR, apparently has shown a little bit of promise, but hasn't really had an awful lot of chances. QPR are not what they used to be. 14 played, 2 goals, 1 assist for a 17-year-old in the Championship. Yeah, not bad. So, but I'm still going to go for it. Well, yeah, I think I probably should have put a 7 there.
He's quite liked at QPR, apparently. I did read that somewhere along the line. Yeah.
Oh, really?
By the fans, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He's got a couple of crucial goals, shall we say? Yeah.
Yeah.
QPR up like they used to be. They're a mid-table Championship club. That's always what they used to be as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who was it? Who's the guy in Little Chalfont? Johnny, was it? Who's a mad QPR fan, and his son. I think you were.
John Paul, John Smith.
Yeah. But I can remember when they got in the chat. Yeah, I remember when they got in the Premiership. God, Benny, you can fucking shut them up, could you?
I know.
It was like, yeah, we're better than Spurs. Yeah, right.
Did you come when we went to QPR away that time?
No, I've been to QPR many years ago, but no, I didn't.
Poxy little place. It's weird. It's like you're walking through
Housing estate, isn't it?
Housing estate, yeah, South Africa Rise, yeah.
Where is it? And you're like, oh, it's there next to you. What? Where's this? It doesn't go up or anything. It's weird. I think it goes down inside, maybe. It's a weird place.
Yeah. So did I read this one out? I'd not even pay 50 pence for Tell, let alone 50 million. Yeah, fair enough. Odegaard and Tell are League One level. Bring back team. No, he's got a hamstring, mate. Yeah, hasn't played for fucking ages, but he's got a hamstring, mate.
He's injured, mate. Ali Gold tried stirring that one up in the press conference, and he said, with all the players missing and you try to rotate players, any chance we might see Timo Werner? He's injured, mate. He snapped his head off. He's injured, mate. He's not injured at all, is he? Let's face facts.
170 grand a week. For
Yeah.
Christ's sake.
Unbelievable. So Audio Artisan said Yang made his debut at Millwall. What a culture shock for the lad.
Oh dear. That went well, I should imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine that. Bloody hell. The greatest place to make it.
Imagine the racial abuse he got. Fucking subjected.
Yeah.
But the good thing is he don't understand the language that well yet, does he? So he probably had no idea what they were saying to him, luckily.
He probably thought they were all cheering him, saying, yeah, his son's replacement, the saviour of Korean football. Anyway, yeah. So Højbjerg, Marseille. Now, he's still on loan.
I didn't know that. I thought he'd gone.
Yeah, no, there's an obligation for 17 million at the end of this season. So, but I just thought I'd stick him in there just to remind everyone.
Because he was Danish. Yeah.
Yeah, Danish. Yeah, if he'd have been Swedish, left off the list.
Obviously, fucking hell. I mean, this is Kulusevski bloke. Never heard of him. Fucking Bergvall. Yeah. But 32 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. So I'd say he's having, why not? I'm giving him an 8 there. Alfie Devine out in Westerlo with Luka Vuskovic. 32 games, 3 goals, 4 assists. No, sorry, 31 games, 6 goals, 1 assist. Apparently, he started out pretty well, but he's been on the bench lately, and they are in the relegation. In other countries, they split the league halfway, or sort of 3/4 the way through the season, and they're in the relegation bit. They don't look like they're in danger of going down. But he's, I suppose he's only 20 years old, going off to play in Belgium. I don't really know. I've watched the Belgium league a couple of times. It seems quite similar to the Dutch league, as in it's not that physical, but it's also not really that skillful. So a lot of people I know were shouting about how great he was. I think Brian Daigle was one of them who was saying that he thought he was going to be an absolute legend. I'm not sure if this has stunted his progress. I'm still excited about the guy. I think if he comes back and maybe goes out Championship, League One, he's got the experience of playing in a top league now. So it will be interesting to see what happens. For every player that goes out on loan doesn't perform very well, you can think back to Harry Kane, because he wasn't great at a lot of his loan teams, and then he came back and he's our greatest ever striker, isn't he? Goals wise, but I'll be interested to see what happens there. He's got a 7. Matthew Craig is one I fully expect to be let go this summer. Mansfield and Barnsley, 21 games, 1 goal.
Oh,
no assists. Oh, there's Eugene. So we'll probably. Hello, sir. How are you?
How are you doing?
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing? I'm just going to hop in for a while just to say a few words, right? Guys, right, ever since, right, the Frankfurt game, I've been saying this, right? All the league games are going to be preseason friendlies and it won't mean shit or whatever. But I've been seeing too much on YouTube, all the slagging or the bashing and all that shit. We have to stop that. Hold on. I'll be back. I have to do something. Yeah.
Sorry, it's just me going to get a top up of a drink. So we'll carry on as Eugene's off, and I think John's gone somewhere as well. Matthew Craig, fully expect him to leave. Alfie Dorrington, again, another highly rated guy, and he really went into a shithole in Aberdeen. I follow Scott quite a lot. One game he's having a real really nice one. Next game, not so good. The way that Swedish manager changes the Aberdeen team, it's like 7-8 changes every fucking game. It's not good. I don't trust the Belgian league after all the hype around that Gift Orban guy fell off a cliff. Even Vincent Janssen was scoring goals in Belgium. Did he play him? Yeah.
Oh,
What
yeah.
Gift Orban in the end? Did he get a move anywhere?
He went to Inter Milan, didn't he?
Wow.
I'm not really sure. But yeah, there was a lot of where's he? No, he plays for Hoffenheim, sorry. So yeah, Hoffenheim, not a bad side. But Vincent Janssen, did he play in Belgium?
Think so, yeah.
Oh really? Okay. Because I know he went off to Mexico, didn't he?
It was Twente.
Oh, yeah, he's Royal Antwerp, yeah. So yeah. Thanks for that, Daniel.
Yeah,
And, I like that hashtag Ange the pub manager. Sorry, Eugene's back. Go on, then, mate. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I left the other app on so that there'll be some weird sounds coming from the other app. Now, guys, all I'm saying, right? We're in the finals, right? It's time to get behind the team, right? It doesn't matter what Ange has done this whole season. This is the finals. We haven't been in the finals for 6 years, right? So all I want to say now, right? We have to stop the bashing, the criticizing, and all that's it. All that needs to be said, right? I don't care. Even if we have to be positively deluded, which I've been since the Frankfurt win, right? I was positively deluded doing a positively deluded Frankfurt watch along, remember, Jens? And we won.
We had a great time, didn't we?
Yeah, and we won. And to tell the truth, right? That Frankfurt game, right? That feeling, right? Has. Sorry.
So I was talking to my wife. The dog's on a rampage again.
Oh, okay. Now I'm saying, do you know that Frankfurt win, right, was unexpected, and that feeling, right, was so good, you know. And ever since we played the semi-finals against Bodo Glimt, right, we went into this PTSD mode while we were doing the watch-alongs, right? Remember, yes, I was saying Bodo Glimt is shit, right? And for both of the leagues, they were shit. And we come back all our way to the final, and now we're in the final. We're going to meet up with Manchester United, and I've been saying it with chess, right? I don't give a shit who we're going to play. We're going to bring back this trophy, and if it's Manchester United, right, it's even better. You know why? I want to kill that Spursy curse, right? Yeah. And all I'm going to say, guys, it's only Manchester United. Let's go smash them. Come on, you Spurs, bro, right? And now I get to stop for a while. All right. And what I got to say is that, right, guys, I'm going to go on, try to get on more channels this week before the final starts, right? And I need to talk to Jens. I'm not sure I'll be doing a watch along. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do it from home. I'm not sure whether, Jens, if you're free to handle the account for me if I'm doing it outside, Jens Sensen. So I'll talk to you later on that point, right? I'm sure everyone will be watching it on the telly. Anyone here going to Bilbao?
No.
I wish.
So did I. Oh, and the sad thing is, I'm so pissed off because now they're gonna do that. If we win, right? Okay, if we win, right? They're gonna do the parade 2 days after that. What the fuck is wrong, Levy? Right? My
God, they won't be back.
He probably thinks people are gonna forget about it.
No. I think what Levy's trying to do, right? No. I know what Levy's trying to do. He's going to do that bus parade before the Sunday home game so we can't fucking protest on Sunday. Imagine you have a bus parade, right? And do a protest. Johnny, your hair looks good, bro. Oh, dear. Yeah. Please don't make us jealous, Johnny.
He'll be watching Coronation Street anyway.
Yeah. No, but guys, to tell the truth.
I thought it was on Thursday. Sorry.
No, it's on a Wednesday. Yeah, because all the finals on a Wednesday. And the weird part is, right, the Europa League final is first, then the Conference League final is second, and then the Champions League finals is last. So I don't know. Maybe there is a good sign, there's a bad sign. To tell the truth, right, I really wanted Manchester City to win yesterday because I don't know. I feel that if the Manchester City won yesterday, right, I feel more confident going to the final. Now, Crystal Palace have beaten Manchester, right? I don't know whether Manchester United now has a show more chest to try to get it. But I'm going to support them deludedly, right? All the way, guys. We're going to beat Manchester United, break that Spursy curse. That's all I want. That's all I want. And to tell the truth, the transfer window, right? And I've got this theory. Why hasn't Paratici been officially announced is because they're waiting for the results of the Europa League final. If Ange wins the final, right, they can't sack him. You know what I'm saying? Then most probably Paratici won't come in yet until Ange screws up in the next 5 or 10 league games where he loses all the games. The same shit that happened to One Day Ramos. We all remember that, right? And then maybe Paratici will come in. That's why I see it's that way. I mean, to tell the truth, if he walks, it's another thing. But I don't think the club will sack him, right? To tell the truth, if he wins the Europa League. But if he doesn't win the Europa League, right, we'll be Spurs again. We'll be Spursy again. It's not to say we haven't been there. We've always been there. The only thing is that we are trying to get out of that cycle. And to tell the truth, if Ange brings it home, I'll give kudos to him for that, right? But I will give him a chance to see whether he will be able to adapt and understand the Premier League and adapt to the Premier League, right? And let's see, he understands that. If he doesn't, guys, right? If the next 5-10 games he loses like 6 or 7 of them, right? The whole fan base will go crazy, and BB will have to let him go by then. So we've done that before, right? We've done that. We've done that before. We've done it with One Day Ramos, so it is what it is. Right, but guys.
Paratici's ban doesn't end until July the 1st. That's why he hasn't been announced yet. It's still banned till July the 1st.
Yeah. I know. That's why it's such a good coincidence for that. You get what I'm saying? The timings are all right. You get what I'm saying? Right. But let's see. I don't know, because a lot of people saying if Paratici comes in, Ange, he wouldn't want Ange. He wants his own manager and blah blah blah. But I don't know if Ange wins the Premier League. Premier League. If Ange wins the Europa League, right? That's going to put a big headache onto the hierarchy to see what they're going to do, right? But if they do sack him, I don't care, because I've already said, right, I'm Ange, don't care, right? I'll be very happy if he wins us the trophy, right? Won't all of you guys be happy if we win the trophy? Honestly?
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Fan
all
first.
of us.
I'm not politics. I'm not into the club politics and stuff like that. I want to see my club win a trophy. I don't care. Yeah, I disagree. Yeah, I think if it's going to go down the road of what happened with Ten Hag. Yeah, I have a feeling if they keep hold of him, and I was talking to a Man United fan about this the other day, and he was like, that's going to happen. And it's like, yeah, okay, it will be another case of One Day Ramos, because I don't know even if it's him who's changed it in the Europa League, but I think I have a feeling it's the players. But in the league, I mean, fuck's sake, you watched that shit on Friday.
And the week before, every week.
And the week before, and for the past the past 18 months we've been watching that shit, right? But I've been saying I'm Ange, don't care, so it doesn't matter. So even that's why last Friday I didn't even bother to do watch along, because I knew the results, right? What was going to be that, and I did watch the first half.
For it. I wanted to take part, and you weren't there.
No, I'm not going to do a watch along, right? Because I'm going to save it for Wednesday. And the thing is, to tell the truth, right, I did watch the match, right, and I did see the first half. We looked very pragmatic in the first half, So, and it's the second half we came out. Jens, remember, right? I always say this, right? I always worry about the second half because I don't know what Ange is going to tell the boys, right? And usually 80% of the second halves we come out, right, we are shit.
Very true.
Yeah. That's it. But guys, I've got to make a move, right? I'll catch up with you guys later, and don't forget, Jens, I'll catch up with you, and we'll have a chat about the Wednesday game. Let's see how we arrange to watch out.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think I'll be able to pop on, but I can sort it out for you, no problem.
Yeah, let's see how we go on that. Right, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm deciding whether to go for a viewing. Guys, it's going to be 3 a.m. in Malaysia when we do this, So yeah, and let's see how that goes, right? And the other thing is that I don't know yet, because ever since the Frankfurt game, right, I've been doing it from home and we've been winning. So I don't know whether should I break it or, oh dear, so much to think about.
Stay at home.
That's why. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, so that's why I need to check with Jens. All right, guys, take care. Have a good day. Yeah, Johnny,
All
good to
right,
see you and your hair.
everything.
Yeah, nice, good to see you with your hair. And Kev, yeah, send all the best wishes to your missus. Yeah, all the best wishes to your missus.
Thank you.
Yeah, and all the dogs and the camper. All right, guys, take care. I'll catch you later, boss.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right, mate. Yeah.
Bye.
Just talking, Luca talks ball. Not sure. I have a feeling he's a gooner, but he's doing a watch along today. So if anyone wants to share it, much appreciated.
It might be worth watching because they can slip. Can they slip down to 5th or 6th today if all the other results go against
Really?
them? Yeah. I think 4 teams are within 2 points of them now, so they can slip down to 5th or 6th. So worth a watch along because Newcastle can easily beat them, can't they?
Yeah, you would have thought so.
That would be funny. That would be a successful season, wouldn't it, if Arsenal don't get the Champions League?
And then I think he's gone, isn't he? When you say?
What,
you think they'll get rid of him?
You don't say so. The amount of money he's spent, and he hasn't addressed certain issues in the team, has he, constantly? And all that stupid business with light bulbs. Did you see that the other day?
No.
Yeah.
Light bulbs. Fucking idiot. What an idiot.
Talk to me. What was it?
Oh, God. He had a light bulb walking around the dressing room going, guys, this is a light bulb. There's no power when it's on its own. And he plugged it in. He goes, this is like you with teammates. When you have power around you, the light comes on. He's like, fuck off, mate.
I didn't know he was French.
Yeah, I feel next thing he'll be talking about seagulls. I mean,
My dicky dick, yeah.
I'm joking, John. I'm joking.
Fishing past your ship. My dicky dick, yeah.
With that dicky dick, yeah.
You have to do Manuel, I suppose, don't you, for Spanish? Or get
Sorry, mate. Couldn't
No,
resist it.
it's one of those today.
It's a light bulb. It's a light bulb.
That's Italian.
Italian,
That's
isn't it?
not
I've gone
Spanish.
too far.
Anyway, yeah.
Where were
Sorry
we?
for the xenophobia, guys. So,
Yeah. It's only light xenophobia. It's fine.
Exactly. Doesn't matter, does it? But Daniel says, and then we sack Ange October, and then we've wasted another summer transfer window. Makes no sense keeping him. I absolutely agree with that.
I think he knows he's going, Jens. If you notice, there's been a change in his demeanour the last 2 weeks. He's not as stressed anymore, is he? He's a bit more chilled and laid back. He knows he's got the final, then he's going. So I think he's kind of, the stress is off him, the pressure's off him. He's got a good free hit at this final, and he knows he's going. Either way.
Yeah. As Kavinsky says, where was the light bulb against PSG?
I think it might have even been that game that the clip was from. It could be.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. So let's run through this quickly. I don't know if you guys have still got time.
Yeah.
So Vuskovic has been absolutely brilliant. 35 games, 7 goals.
Sign him up.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right, isn't it, for a centre back? Fucking hell. It's a bit like when I used to play for, the under 10s when I was 20.
Chelsea boys.
2 assists.
Not bad for a defender, though, is it?
No, not at all. But that does make me worry a little bit.
Yeah.
Is he going to be like one in Vega?
Yeah, a Roman defender.
Exactly.
A roving defender. Yeah.
Ashley Phillips, Stoke City, 39 played, 1 goal, 0 assists. I heard the other day from a couple of Stoke City fans saying that his performance that day was the worst performance he'd ever seen by a central defender in all his years of supporting Stoke City. But at other times, he's actually played quite well. So, again, he's quite young. Playing at Stoke, it's definitely going to be character building, isn't it? Because, they're not known for... where's he from originally, Phillips?
Blackburn.
Yeah. Oh, so he's a northerner. Okay. So, right. And last but not least, Manor Solomon, Leeds United, 41 played, 10 goals, 13 assists, loan rating of 9.
Some going.
Sorry?
There's some going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's leave out the whole political thing and stuff like that. Just in case he gets stuff in the chat. But would you take him back?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah, Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd have kept him, to be honest. But it was a no-brainer to send him out because his knee injury is quite a serious one. So just get football under his belt in the Championship, where he's going to be getting kicked and playing twice a week. To get his fitness back up is a no-brainer, wasn't it?
And it's also there's big pressure playing for Leeds as well, because they're
expected to be
one team City, and they they think that they're the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they think they should be at the top of the league and in the Premiership. So to perform under that kind of pressure, I think that shows a mental fortitude.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good teams in that. There's some good teams in the Championship. There's not all duffers down below. There is some good ones. Yeah,
definitely. Because he plays, he mainly plays on the left, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So with Sonny on his last legs, maybe not on his last legs, but Sonny's. I think if he stays, he's going to be a peripheral part next season. Who else have we got? Tell if he comes in.
It's Tell.
Odeberg can play there as well. Richie, obviously.
Brenda,
yeah, but he's more right, isn't he?
Mikey Moore,
yeah. Well,
he prefers playing on the left, doesn't he, Mikey Moore? Apparently,
yes. Yeah. So, right. So, anyone got anything to say about the loan overview? Who do you think's been a winner? Who do you think's been not so good?
I just googled what the Man of Solomon controversy. It says in November 23, Solomon's Instagram account was temporarily suspended after he posted messages supporting Israel following the Hamas terror attacks on October 7th. His post condemned Hamas, labelling it as a terrorist organisation, and expressed solidarity with the Israeli victims. Solomon's representatives maintained the content was not anti-Palestinian, but rather pro-Israel and supporting his own countrymen. Meta, Instagram's parent company, later reinstated his account and said the suspension was a mistake. There you go.
A lot of twisted journalists out there, isn't there? They'll suit their narratives. So,
Absolutely, yeah.
That's very true. Very true.
I'll take him back. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think he did a lot wrong at the time. I remember seeing his tweet when they were trying to sort of cause a load of noise around it, Kevin. I didn't think there was anything that it said that was particularly controversial.
Yeah, I think that's for another podcast and another day. Everybody knows. Well, you guys know my feelings on that. I'm a massive supporter of Israel because I've been there many times. But let's move swiftly on. So, Daniel, it's not as funny as when Arteta took a radio speaker to training and started pumping out "You'll never walk alone" to try and get Arsenal players used to the Liverpool. What? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, he did, and I think he bought a dog as well, didn't he, and called it Lucky to try and bring him.
Rinsky says that's Rich coming from a Stoke fan. Oh, God, please. So drop Tell and Werner, bring back Donnelly and Solomon. Because Donnelly, I watched him both legs against Stockport, and to be honest, he never got a look in. I don't know. I think they must have put a couple of players on him, but he hardly got the ball at all. And through the rest of the season, he's been really good. But
he kept swapping sides in both games as well. He was going from left wing to right wing, and he was covering a lot of ground. He was trying to make space for himself.
Yeah. So, but I think Stockport. To be honest, having watched both semi-finals or both legs, they could probably be a little bit upset about not winning it. The first one, I'd say it was pretty even. The second one, it seems to be all Stockport.
Two London clubs in the final.
Yeah,
like Brent and Charlton.
Yeah, unfortunately, I fell asleep before the penalties. But yeah, Stockport were the better team, and there seems to be a lot of bad blood between Wickham and Charlton at the moment. Maybe because of the Charlton manager. Wickham, so it's a shame. It's one of my local clubs, or used to be one of my local clubs, and is one of John's local clubs. They seem to be flying, didn't they? So
Yeah.
We
they lost Bloomfield. Wasn't that the reason? Or?
well, yeah, he got relegated with Luton, didn't he? He went to Luton and he's just got relegated.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Scowen, who's Wycombe's decent centre mid, he's like captain and all action, sort of Scott Parker type. He got absolutely deliberately taken out in one of the last games. I wonder if that was against Charlton. What might be where the bad blood was, because Wycombe's season fell apart when Scowen got out injured. So
Really?
they beat Wycombe 4-0 towards the end of the season. I wonder if that they were the lot that deliberately hacked Josh Scowen. I'm just going to Google it now.
Okay. That ain't great. All right. Let's go on to...
Can I just go back for a second?
Of course you can.
Walker. He was born in Hackney, East London.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought he was an London boy. Okay.
Walker signed for Tottenham as a 10-year-old. Didn't work out with him at Spurs, having a couple of seasons playing along Hoddle, Hazard, Houghton and Miller in the juniors, 1975-6 and 76-77.
Wow.
And he went back to playing for local teams, like I suppose Enfields and the Isthmian leagues and whatever they were in them days, you know. And Forest saw him playing in London and picked him up. And Aston Villa and Birmingham were also after him, but he got him to Clough and the rest is history, like, you know. So another one got away.
That is interesting.
And he's a Spurs supporter as well. He is.
Yeah.
Confirmed Spurs supporter, yeah.
You learn something new. Every day's a school day. That is...
Yeah.
It was Leighton Orient that clocked Josh Scowen.
Oh, really?
Josh Scowen sustained a significant injury during Wycombe Wanderers' 1-0 defeat to Leighton Orient in late April 25. The injury resulted from a late, robust challenge by Leighton Orient midfielder Ethan Galbraith, which led to Scowen being stretchered off after 36 minutes. A school say the severity of the injury is expected to sideline Scowen for approximately 15 months. That his knee basically was a very late tackle after the ball had gone.
15 months?
Yeah, done his ACL. And that Wycombe's season kind of fell apart after that because Scowen's he's the captain and the main man. And it was a deliberate foul as well. He deliberately took him out, basically. Horrible challenge.
How old is he?
Oh, God, he's got to be late 20s, 30. Let's have a look.
Okay, so you think he's going to come back from that?
He's a very determined young man, so I think he would.
Yeah, okay.
He's got great character.
Yeah.
Very similar to Scott Parker. All action, robust, you know, gets stuck in, flies into tackles, and 32. Born in Enfield.
Does he do pirouettes? Like Scott Parker?
No, he doesn't actually. He hasn't got the pirouette in his locker. Who's it that called their dog Parker? Because he used to spin around all the time. Someone called their dog Brian Daigle. I think it might have been Brian Daigle that dog. Parker. Yeah. He's chasing tail and spinning around all the time.
Oh, brilliant. Right, so predicted Spurs team for Wednesday night.
I mean, the midfield. Well, I would say the midfield picks itself, but we don't know if Sarr's injured or not, do we? He's back on Friday. So have we got three fit midfielders that we can play, Kev?
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I went same as that, actually. I went Udogi, VDV, Romero and Porro, Bissouma, Bentancur and Sarr, but I put underneath it Odo because I'm the same as you. I didn't know.
Can he play central midfield, Odobert?
No, I didn't mean it. I just had him in the midfield trio.
They tried him there Friday night, Jens. They had Mikey Moore on the right, Ted on the left, and Odobert number 10 behind.
I could not fucking figure out that what do you call it? That prediction, that lineup.
No,
because there were like 4 or 5 wingers on there, and I'm like, what? Who the fuck's playing where? And you know, I'm getting old, so I wasn't really sure what the fuck was going on there. That is
might have to play, if no one else. We'll have literally no creativity, will we? I mean, it's not like we're going to score from set pieces, is it? And they've got Maguire and some quite dominant guys.
Yeah.
Bentancur is going to be a bit busy with Fernandes and company.
What about Olasasi?
Hey?
Olasasi.
He's straight to the final, will he?
He's a midfield, yeah. No.
Obviously, Archie Gray can play in there if you want.
Oh, yeah.
Combative player, but if Sarr's not fit,
I imagine they'll just get so probably
they'll stick an injection in Sarr to get him through. I'm sure. he's got a back injury, they just stick an injection in him, won't they, and get him to play the game.
I had up front. I had Richie for Johnson. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. You think Richie will play on the left though, don't you?
I think
Yeah, well, the other way around.
yeah, they'll start Son on the bench to give us a lift off the bench.
You reckon? Okay.
We need a shot in the arm or something to lift it up. I think play Richie on the left. Who knows? Guess what this will do.
So, Mr. K, you're saying 4-2-3-1. So, who's going to play at the as the attacking central midfielder? Is that going to be Odegaard?
Tell you what, he played there, didn't he, in one of the Premier League games earlier. I think it might have even been the Man City game. To surprise Man City, he played Sarr at number 10, didn't he? So he was just going around and pressing them from the number 10 position. So I reckon he will play Sarr there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But Sarr's injured, isn't he?
Richie, you don't know. Well, keep the cards close to your chest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I think my internet went a bit funny there. I missed that.
I said stick an injection in him. They'll be able to get through the game.
Yeah, you reckon? Okay.
This is back. Yeah. Give him some painkillers in the back there.
Yeah. So I can see Richie on the left and Son as number 10. Maybe Bentancur and Basuma in the middle.
No,
doesn't protect the defence much, though, does it? But I suppose if the defenders actually defend, then you don't really need to have a defensive midfielder because, yeah. Anyway, that's me in my 1990s mindset. Pigeon Boy is sub. I have no clue who that is. Odegaard is okay.
Richie's the pigeon in the old.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. Son, Solanke, and Johnson up front. Son plays number 10 a lot for his country. Yeah, but I still play Solanke because I think that he's got that. He's got the running. He's got the strength as well. And who have they got? They got a couple of their central defenders are out, aren't they? So that Euro guy.
He'll be a bully then, won't he? With his power.
Yeah. Obviously, he's up against Maguire, who I suppose has made his career going up against big centre forwards. But
another possibility I'm looking at is maybe sacrifice Porro to push him up front into the midfield or further up, and have Spence there in defence.
Do you think that would be a good idea in a final, though, Kev?
Not really. Yeah. Once I said it, I thought that stupid.
I'm not taking the piss or anything, but I just think it might be a bit. Yeah, I think Porro can definitely play as a right winger, and I'd like to see him as a winger actually because he's not an inverted forward, is he? He's someone who will run down the line for you and then get that crossing, and that seems to be a bit of a dying art in football these days.
Yeah,
everybody seems to cut in.
I just don't hope. I hope Postecoglou don't go too radical. You know.
Yeah,
we've got what we've got. You know, and
comes up with a weird plan.
Yeah.
Well, like Pochettino playing Son at left back in the left wing
Chelsea
against Chelsea. Jeez.
Yeah. I'm stunned.
They've got Martinez, De Ligt, and Yoro. Basically, 3 of their first choice centre backs injured. So he usually plays 3 at the back as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
So that might be.
Right, I mean, argument to play 2 up there, eh? Try and keep play Richie and Solanke.
I've just seen who played on Friday night because they said that was the team, didn't they? Because
Richie. Richie has done relatively well. I think mainly because of his physicality. Yeah. He scares players, doesn't he? I mean, his passing and his shooting leave an awful lot to be desired. Maybe he's rusty. Well, he's definitely rusty. But so Maguire's being switched to right wing, apparently. Eves and Bentancur in the middle. Son, Odegaard, and Johnson as advanced midfielders, and Solanke as striking. I put Mikey Moore in a number 10 and have Son, Solanke, Johnson there for him to work with. Yeah, I think that's asking a bit much for a 17-year-old, but it might work. So long as our defence stays as it is, yeah. It's going to be an interesting one.
There's this thing that's been said about all the trophies are won by bird involved teams. Shall we say Liverpool won with the Liver Bird, won the league. Palace is the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, the Eagles.
Yeah, Magpies got the League Cup. And someone's saying the cockerel. And I'm thinking Richarlison's a pigeon, so it might work. I don't know.
I like that, Kev. Fucking hell. Yes. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, the winner.
Yeah,
but seriously, what are your feelings? What do you reckon? I'm going to go for the predictions now.
3-2 for me for Spurs. I've even got put down Richarlison, Son, and Porro. Not in any particular order.
Okay.
I'm confident.
That was quick. You're confident? Bloody hell.
I wrote it down. I wrote it all down this morning. I had a quiet moment. Yeah. Same as I did last week.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Already suited and booted and everything. So we went to the beach instead, so it weren't too sad.
Oh, that's nice.
In your suit. Yeah.
In his suit, yeah.
You've seen that video.
And his football boots on. Yeah. John, Mr. Einstein, give us some wisdom, bruv.
I've got a horrible feeling that after what they did to Man City last year in the FA Cup final, that they've got a one-off in them, haven't they? Really, Man United. Obviously, we've beaten them 3 times already this season, but then on the law of averages, they're due a result against us, aren't we? We've got a few players that our creativity has been somewhat hampered, isn't it, with the players who got missing. So I guess it's going to be a tight game, I think, which is unusual for us, isn't it? If we play like we did in the quarter and the semi, I think that's the way to go and try and keep it a tight game, because it's going to come down to one goal, I think, because of our lack of creativity. I think they've got better set pieces than us, which could come down to that. Who knows?
He does have a few bloomers, doesn't he? Bloopers, I should say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can see a horrible game. Oh, can you imagine if it goes to penalties? God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've got to work the next day. No, that's not good.
I've got a Man United supporter living next door behind me there on the other side of the semi. He's Man U, and the bloody Tesco delivery man turned up on Friday. Even he's a Man United supporter because he's seen my Spurs stuff in the hallway, like, the photos and that, like, So he said, "You're the Spurs man in the house." Oh, yeah. Well, it's only consolation. I don't think we're going to win. And I said, "We're only consolation. I don't think we're going to win." So everyone's like that. No one wants to put their face on it and say, "Yeah." But now I'm thinking about it for the last 24 hours. And I think, I think we can do this.
Literally could go either way, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could do. Yeah.
You're saying we don't have a lot of creativity. I'm looking at their team, and
they've got Fernandes, haven't they?
They've got Fernandes, yeah, and they've got Ahmad and Mason Mount when he turns up, which he always fucking does against Tottenham.
Seems to, yeah.
He play.
So
is Ericsson still around?
Ericsson was on the bench on Friday, so yeah, he's still there.
Casemiro, he's a liability if we can get at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Casemiro, I mean, he's a walking red card, really, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. We can get on him early with Bentancur. You never know.
I hope the ref doesn't ruin it by sending someone off, like first 5 minutes.
Well, we've got a dodgy ref,
or giving a penalty for a very dodgy handball.
In the first minute. In the first
John,
26 seconds.
You still haven't given us a prediction. It's going to be a horrible game. Yeah, I can understand that. But give us a score, mate.
I think we'll lose.
Yeah.
I think we'll lose 2-1, 3-1.
Really?
Yeah.
That much? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's going to be 2 versus 1 here, Kev. I don't think we're going to win this.
No.
No.
Oh, ye of little faith.
I know.
It's an anti-jinx, though, isn't it? We're just hoping it'll be wrong.
Too many injuries.
Bad memories.
Yeah. Well, I've only really had good memories of a UEFA Cup final, and that was back in '84, which I don't really remember an awful lot because I was only 8. But I just think that United have that. They walk into any cup final thinking we've basically already won this because of our reputation and our history. And if this had been back in the 80s, yeah, I think I would have fancied Tottenham to win it, because Man United weren't all that in the 80s, were they? And we were winning cup
We're on
finals,
a roll, yeah.
stuff like that.
They still get trophies. They won in 78, 88. They won the year after us. 83, I think they won that one, did they?
It's that performance last year against Man City in the FA Cup final that's got me worried, because they were shit then as well, weren't they? And Man City was fine at the time with De Bruyne and Haaland and everyone, and they still turned up and beat Man City, didn't they? In their pomp. So if they do turn up in the final, they can beat us, even though they are playing poor at the moment.
Yeah.
That's what
Mr. K puts a good point across here. It's time to put our past to bed and let Ange do his thing. The only problem is, having seen the 21 league defeats, what is Ange's thing?
There's another team that want to win it as well, isn't there? That's the problem. Is us turning up against nobody. Man United will be trying to win it as well.
I think you're really clutching here, Kavinsky. I know that Madders is a small bloke, so is Mikey Moore, but 17 years old.
6 footers.
Sorry?
I thought they were both 6 footers.
What, Madders and Mikey? I don't think so.
Oh.
Mikey's not that. Let me have a look.
Deceptively.
Yeah, they are tall footballers, aren't they?
He's 1.8, which is almost
6 foot.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Mikey Moore.
Oh, that's Mikey, yeah.
He's 6 foot. I thought he was, yeah. Madders?
James Maddison is 175.
No.
So that's just under. It's 5'10", 5'11", probably.
Yeah, they're not titchy. Yeah. But Mikey Moore, I read somewhere recently he was 6 foot, and he doesn't look it. You know, he really doesn't.
No, he doesn't, does he? He looks like quite a small guy. But yeah, Ange's thing is he always wins in his second season.
You might very well.
You win the sack.
Yeah. Daniel says, but then can it go
the other way?
Other way and say Man United lost the Europa League final against Villarreal, which was Villarreal's first ever European trophy in there.
Yeah. It's on the day, isn't it? It's just on the day.
It's on the day, yeah.
Could be very hot over in Bilbao. I don't know. It's northwest Spain, so they might have a bit of rain up there. You never know.
It's northwest, isn't it? Yeah,
it's up by the Pyrenees. I
don't think it'll be that warm then, will it?
The Atlantic Pyrenees, yeah.
Well, our midfield should be right, shouldn't they? We just think they'd be able to play in the heat. Obviously, you've got Basuma, Sarr, and
Bentancur, yeah.
They'll be from hot countries, aren't they? So I suppose Portugal's hot as well for Bruno Fernandes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hopefully, Mason Mount will wilt under the heat.
But yeah. So predictions: I'm going 2-1 Man United. I think he'll finish in 90 minutes. I have a feeling they'll get a winner in the last 10. I don't know. I used to be really optimistic about Tottenham, and Levy and Ange this season just seem to be knocking my optimism. Well, it knocked my optimism many years ago, but
I've just got a horrible feeling we're going to get fucked over by the referee.
Yeah, well, someone said the other day that he'd been charged with bribe taking. The referee.
2005 that was.
Yeah. So, and someone also said that he's refereed us twice and we've lost once, and he's refereed Man United 6 times and they've won 5. So I know this is all clutching, massive, conspiracy, fucking foil hats and shit like that. But it wouldn't surprise me. It's when it comes to referees and stuff like that, they always seem to be they will always be swayed by the club with the bigger history, and all you hear about Tottenham is that we're bottlers and next year and stuff like that. Man United are still seen as this massive club, even though they've been taken over big time by Chelsea and Man City and Liverpool over the last few years. They've still got the most supporters in the world, really, haven't they?
Tricky. You want to set the tone, don't you, in a cup final by playing on the front foot, getting stuck into them. But I've got a horrible feeling that 50-50 tackle, and they'll use it as an excuse to send one of our players off.
Yeah.
Beamer or Bentancur, you can see it, can't you? 50 tackle tackle it right at the beginning, and he'll straight red card him and fuck us over.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah.
Daniel said, I think we'll sneak this 1-0, scammed with a Solanke winner. I like that. I like that positivity. Pass some of that over here, mate. Pass it over. Levy has caused me to give up on the club. That's a real pisser. Is everyone going to swallow their words if Ange gets a wins? No, we're crap fans supporting our team when they're down. Levy lovers. Okay.
Mr.
No, I still support the team.
Mr. K, you'll be pleased to know that I haven't ever turned on the manager.
No, that's true.
Unlike these two.
Still very much Ange in. Yeah, well, no, I turned on him.
I haven't turned on him. I just detest what he's done. You know, whatever he's trying, it ain't working.
Yeah.
The only manager who I got hated was Terry Neal. And there's a reason for that. Oh, and George Graham, of course.
George Graham, yeah.
But
no, for me, it's because he's Australian. So
I've just got
that was meant to be a joke.
I've just got sympathy for him because I don't think he was back properly. He warned in the summer that he needed a stronger squad because of the European commitments, and he wasn't given it. And then the injuries that he predicted have happened. So he's kind of been thrown under the bus, I think, somewhat.
Again, we can go into that, and when all our players came back, it's still been But we can talk about this for hours, and I don't think we'd agree.
No.
But anyway, Kavinsky says, I don't give a fuck about these championship level lightweights who shouldn't be playing for this club anyway. Well, that's don't mince your words, mate. I mean, say it straight. Okay, then. Any other business and plugs?
No.
Nothing.
John's got any gigs coming up?
I have.
When are you playing the Chesham thing? When is that?
Chesham Fringe Festival next Sunday, a week today.
Okay.
A week today, so it should be a good one.
So anyone who is around London or anywhere like that and you fancy going to see some decent music, head down to Chesham.
Yeah.
End of the Metropolitan line. And it's at, did you say it was at a pub or something?
No, so they're using all of the venues around town. They want it to be like the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. So all the pubs, and all the places that can have bands and music on there, they're utilising. So there's a theatre called Elgiva Theatre, and at the back of that there's a Chesham Youth Club. It's called Nate. It's like a 200 capacity stage there. We're playing at the Chesham Youth Centre at the back of the Elgiva Theatre. Bobby Davro is playing. Actually, he's a Tottenham boy, isn't he, Kev?
Oh mate, he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's playing.
He said he was on the radio. I think it was that Scottish podcast that I listened to. They were doing something at the Edinburgh Fringe, and he came on. They invited him on, and he's had a stroke.
Oh no!
And he said, I could feel. I fell over, and I was lying on the floor. And my ex-wife was there, and she sent a letter for an ambulance. So I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a funny guy, and he is a Spurs fan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's some famous comedians play. It's a comedy, arts, and music festival. So they say they've been inspired. It's a charity thing that's been set up to try and emulate Edinburgh Festival. So it's really good. Like second or third year, I think it is, year 3. My work help out. They use our buildings as their headquarters whilst the festival's on and stuff. So it'd be good. Big country there as well. Remember the Scottish band?
All right. Yeah, I like them. I've seen them a couple of times.
Yeah.
Maz is a big fan of theirs, isn't he?
Yeah. From the 80s, I saw them twice in the 80s before Stuart Edison left this planet.
Yeah.
And that was in about 2000, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing, and there's lots of famous comedians. Obviously, Chesham United is sponsored by Taskmaster, so Alex Horn's playing a comedy gig, and he's got a little, what would you call it, like a rhythm and blues band, like Jules Holland does. He's got one of they're called the Horn section, so they're playing as well. So it should be good, yeah. Bank holiday weekend, Chesham.
How do they manage to get so many famous people down at Chesham?
I don't know.
Which part of the world?
No, yeah. Chesham, not so much. Amersham and places like that. Chesham is not that rich.
Chesham, they did a whole regeneration, regentrification thing recently. So if you remember when you were here, Jens, one train an hour used to go to Chesham.
Yeah.
They do 2 trains an hour. There's 4 trains that go there, so they do 2 to Amersham and 2 to Chesham now. The house prices have gone through the roof. With lots of commuters moving to Chesham and that, so they're regentrifying the area. And it's one of the most high risk areas in the country. Actually, the government did these statistics and stuff for people that fall out of education and into unemployment and never sort of get around to getting jobs again through lack of opportunities and lack of opportunities and stuff like that. So Chesham was one of the most high risk areas in the country, along with all the sort of towns up north, all the cities up north and stuff. So they've got lots of funding to try and regenerate the area. So I guess hopefully the Fringe Festival helps with that as well.
Yeah, okay. Nice one. Well, I went to college in Chesham, and I haven't dropped off the employment triangle just yet, but that's interesting to hear. So, Mr. K says Chesham, is that horse country? Yeah, I think there's quite a few horses there, isn't it?
Yes, it's really popular with commuters, Mr. K, because it's 35 minutes from Marylebone, but we're in the countryside out here, so lots of fields and farms and stuff, but it's literally 35-40 minutes to Marylebone, so it's really popular with commuters.
I used to go beating down in Chesham for
whack the pheasants.
Hundredge, when for the rich people who shoot the pheasants. I always had a hundredge. That was a great time. That was when I was a kid, and Anyway, right, guys. Anything else you'd like to say? Otherwise, I'm going to wrap everything up. And
well, it's the big build-up from now on, so it's going to be full-on Spurs in your face until the game.
Well, strap yourselves in, Kev, because it's going to be full-on Man United, isn't it? And then trying to put us down all the time.
Oh, yeah, most of the media, I'm talking about, the will to win,
all this, slagging us off, calling us Spurs and stuff, trying to sort of chip away at us ahead of the game. So we have to strap ourselves in because the media is going to be out in full force and they're trying to chip away at us.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'd like to say thank you very much to Daniel, the pub manager, Luca, Kavinsky, Audio Artisan.
Where did Houdini disappear to?
Good call. Yeah, I think he just started.
He's there. Yeah, he's back.
Mr. K.
Mr. K. Good to see Mr. K again.
Yeah, it's been a bloody while. But he started coming back on. He's been on for a couple of months now. Thank you very much for watching the show. If you could like and subscribe to all 3 channels. I know it takes about 5 minutes of your time, but it does help. And come on, you Spurs. Let's get this trophy hoodoo off our back to the days of 84.
Enjoy the game if we can. Enjoy the game if we can.
And 72.
Yeah.
Not so much 73 and 74.
Yeah.
73 we lost in the semi-final. 74 we lost in Rotterdam. Yeah. Bad times.
That was bad times in Rotterdam, wasn't it? There was a lot of trouble there, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
But, come on, you Spurs, and
Spurs.
Levy.
Yeah, that is it. Yeah, that is definitely it. Boom, boom.